that's coming out of her. That's Maryam. And she is the mistress of all the women of her time. Now, if you ask today, ask someone who is superior between Maryam, salamullahi alayha, and the wives of the prophets who are mu'mineen because of what Allah gave them a title. Who do you think the people will choose? On one hand, you have Maryam bint Imran, the Quran speaks highly of. On the other hand, you have the wives of the Prophet. Who do you think that people will choose? Indeed, they will choose Maryam alayhi salam because she is a daughter of a prophet. She is also a mother of the prophet. What prophet? Isa, who is named after her, Isa ibn Maryam. Now remember, the wife of Prophet Imran, Hannah, she prayed to Allah that if you gave me a son, I will dedicate him to your house of worship. But Allah instead gave her a daughter. Now Allah is completing what was asked. In what way? First, Allah took Maryam, elevated her ranks, gave her the status beyond imagination of all the women of the world of her time. And then Allah gives glad tidings to Maryam alayhi salam. He says, "O Maryam, I give you glad tidings of a son who will be the Messiah, who is Isa. He will cure the blind and the leper, and he will talk to Bani Israel in his cradle, in his infancy, and he will be given the knowledge of the book and the wisdom, and I give him Injil." You see how Allah prepared the stage for Isa alayhi salam. And you also saw that Maryam bint Imran receives food from Jannah. When she stood in mihrab, her nur would brighten the whole room, and Allah gave her a son who cures people, who cures blindness, who cures leprosy, who was talking in the cradle, who was talking to Bani Israel that I am the messenger of Allah. Allah gave me the book and the hikmah. He gave me the knowledge. He gave me the wisdom. That's Maryam bint Imran. Definitely. People decided that Maryam is superior than everybody else. Now let's compare again between Maryam bint Imran, one of the prophets, and on the other hand, you have Fatima Zahra bint Muhammad Mustafa, the seal of all the prophets, the Imam of all the prophets. Now who do you pick? Who's superior? Is Fatima Zahra superior than Maryam? Or is Maryam superior than Fatima Zahra salamullahi alayha? Who would you pick? Who is superior? Indeed, it is the daughter of the final prophet who is superior than Maryam. Maryam has two relations, being the daughter of the prophet, of one of the prophets, and the mother of one of the prophets, Isa. But on the other hand, you see that Fatima Zahra salamullahi alayha is not just the daughter of any prophet, but the daughter of the seal of the prophet, the Imam of all the prophets. And she is the wife of the Wasi of the last seal of the prophets. She is the wife of Amir al-Mu'mineen, the commander of the faithful. And she is the mother of 11 Imams from her progeny that Allah has kept alive, the last one, behind whom Isa will pray his salah. But I don't understand, why is it so hard for people to say out loud or to accept that the daughter of the Prophet is superior than every other woman? Unfortunately, the nation of Islam does not consider that. But that is the truth, that she is superior. How was she? Look at her lofty status. We know that Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam were created from Nur. And their Nur traveled through Aslab al-Shamikha wal-Arham al-Muttahara. Through all the prophets, the purified ones, that Nur, that light of Ahlul Bayt traveled through all the prophets and all the pure wombs until it reached Mecca, where the division occurred. We see that Nur was split into one prophet's Nur and two, the Nur of Amir al-Mu'mineen. What about the Nur of the daughter of the Prophet? Was it also traveling along with the Nur of her father? Let us find out. Prophet Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi wa sallam, he had two sons. Both of them died in the early stages of their childhood. He had no children. The pagans of the Mecca would taunt him. They would call him, Na'udhu billah, Abtar. That means the one who has no lineage. You know, that the family is not going to go past him. He's the last, and that's it. The message of Islam that he is spreading is going to die with him. That's what they took it when they saw two of his sons died. To Janabi Khadija. Of course it hurts the Prophet. What did Allah said? Allah reveals the Surah Al-Kawthar. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Inna a'tainaka al-kawthar. Fasalli li rabbika wanhar. Inna sha'ni'aka huwal abtar. O Prophet, O my Habib, O my beloved Prophet, I give you Kawthar. I give you abundance of what? Of the lineage, of progeny. Your progeny will be so abundant that it won't be just for the time being, but it will continue until the day of judgment arrives. I give you such progeny. Instead, your enemy is the one whose tail has been cut off. Those are the ones who does not have a lineage. So Allah reveals Surah Kawthar to give glad tidings to Rasulullah that you will bear child. You will have your progeny that will continue the message of Islam, who will remind people of what Islam is, what Tawheed is, what Qiyamah is, what Nabuwah is. People have no right to call you that you don't have a lineage. But how is Allah blessing His Prophet with the lineage? There are many traditions that describes, but I will take this one and I have merged two traditions into it. Rasulullah was taken on Mi'raj. When he ascended to the skies, he went to the fourth heaven, fourth sky, and there Jibreel said the azan, Mikael said the aqama, and Prophet led the prayer. After the prayer, they ascended to the heavens above. He reached a level where he saw that there are angels who are sewing the garments of Jannah, and they are making jewelry of Jannah. He asked, "O Jibreel, what is this angel doing and for who?" He said, "Ya Rasulullah, this angel is sewing the garments of your brother Ali ibn Abi Talib and the jewelry that he will be provided in Jannah." He walks forward into Jannah and he sees that there is a tree, and Allah sends a revelation. He says, "O my beloved Prophet, O my Habib, proceed, take the fruit from this tree and eat from it." Rasulullah takes the fruit from the tree and he starts to eat. The moment he took a bite, a light came out of the apple. He took a pause. Jibreel said, "Ya Rasulullah, do not pause. Keep eating." He ate the whole apple. And Jibreel said, "Ya Rasulullah, this Noor has a name. On earth, this Noor is called Fatima, and in the heavens it's called Mansura." And Rasulullah ate that apple, and that Noor transferred to Rasulullah. And when he came to the earth, and on the 20th of Jamadil Sani, there was a light that was shining in his house in the form of Fatima Zahra Salamullahi alayha. You know now that the Noor of Fatima Zahra Salamullahi alayha was the only Noor that did not travel through all the Aslab and Arham. This is the unique virtue of Fatima Zahra, that the father of Fatima Zahra was invited to Mi'raj and handed the Noor to him. And when this Noor came into the womb of Khadijatul Kubra, this Noor would talk to the mother. How? Now imagine the time that Janabi Khadija went through. She married the son of Abdullah ibn Abdul Muttalib. When she married her prophet, all the women of Mecca boycotted her. They said, "You are a rich woman, you're a wealthy woman. Why would you marry a man who is not wealthy enough?" And they called him poor and yatim and orphan. Why would you marry such a person? But Janabi Khadija knew what they didn't know. Now she's pregnant. There's no aid, no one to help. The time of birth was closing in. She sent a message to the women of Mecca, "Come help me." But they rejected. They said, "We're not going to help you out. We told you not to marry that person." "Yeah, you did." "We're not going to help you." She was lonely. And in her loneliness, she found a console. Who was there to console her? Who was there to cheer her up? The fetus that she was carrying, the child she was bearing. One day Rasulullah saw that Khadija Salamullahi alayha is speaking to someone, and he does not see anyone in the house. She asked, "Oh Khadija, who are you talking to?" She said, "Ya Rasulullah, I am talking to the child in my womb." Rasulullah said, "Oh Khadija, glad tidings to you. Allah is going to grant us a daughter who will be the mother of 11 Imams, my successors after Ali ibn Abi Talib." When the time of birth arrived, she's alone. But Allah will not leave her alone, because Allah chose her for a purpose. Allah sends 4 personalities. Janabi Khadija sees that there are 4 tall figures entering her chamber. Of course, she was scared when she first looked at them. They said, "Oh Khadija, don't be scared. We are here to help you out." She said, "Who are you?" One of them replied, "This is Asiya bint Mazahim, the wife of Pharaoh. This is Kulsum, the sister of Musa. This is Maryam bint Imran, the mother of Isa. And I am Sarah, wife of Ibrahim ala nabiyina." The 4 ladies sat around her, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. And the time when Janab Sayyidah was born, the Hawra of Jannah, they descended. They brought fabrics of Jannah. They wrapped her in the fabric of Jannah. And these ladies asked her, as the newborn, as the baby, they said, "Speak something." The first word coming out of the mouth of Janab Sayyidah was, "Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa anna abi Muhammadur Rasulullah wa Ali Sayyidul Awsiya wa waladi Sadatil Isbat." I bear witness that Allah is one and there is no other ilah. I bear witness that my father is the Prophet of Allah, and I bear witness that Ali is his successor. I bear witness that my 2 sons, Hassan and Hussein, are the leaders of the rest of the Imams. Please recite a salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Imagine when the whole community ignores you, they boycott you, but there's Allah and His nusrah that Janab Khadija received. What I would like to tell here, I would like to say, is having a daughter is not a bad thing. It's a rahmah to have a daughter. There are the blessings of Allah. But unfortunately, the very first thing that comes to our mind is a son. Nothing wrong about it, but people get disappointed when they see a daughter. It is not according to Islam. Getting disappointed on the birth of a daughter, that's not Islamic. It's unethical, un-Islamic. Because you see that Islamic history gave us some women figures who revolutionized the time. Look at Maryam bint Imran. Her revolution was that she bore a son without having a husband. What a miracle that has never happened before. And of course, Adam and Hawa were the ones without both parents. But she stood her ground. She was chosen by Allah. And look at the women from the family of the Prophet, the one who we are commemorating tonight, and her daughters, and the daughters of her son, the role they played in reviving this religion. And many of the women from this lineage were the narrators of the ahadith. They revolutionized their time with their khutbah, their sermons. Women, although they say women are created very delicate and weak, but do not underestimate the power of a woman. Allah chose women for a purpose. They are responsible for the progress of a lineage. They are responsible to do greater things. Dear brothers and sisters, and whoever is watching online, never be disappointed when a daughter is born. She's a blessing because her mistress is Sayyida Fatima Zahra Salamullahi alayha. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. That's Fatima Zahra. Her creation is unique and pure. Her fadail, we cannot fathom, we cannot comprehend her fadail. The fadail that are mentioned in the books aren't enough for us to understand the lofty station that Allah has bestowed upon her. The maqam that she has inherited, the maqam she has received from Allah, and the knowledge that Allah gave her. It's unparalleled, unmatched. Can you imagine? We say that she is the mother of 11 Imams. Imam said, we are the hujjah on the creation. And our grandmother Fatima Zahra is the hujjah upon us. That's who she is. Tonight, we described her birth and how Allah entrusted this personality to His prophets. There's one more thing I would like to describe about her tonight. It is this: Maryam, when she entered her mihrab, the mihrab would brighten because of her nur. When Fatima Zahra enters mihrab, Allah would call out His angels and say, "Oh my angels, look at Fatima Zahra, how she is worshipping in mihrab, how she remembers me such that her whole body is trembling in fear. And she is trying to find nearness to me. And I want you to bear witness that I will save the Shia of Fatima Zahra from hellfire." And Prophet told about her. He describes who she is. Prophet says, "Sayyidatun nisa'il alameen, hiya bad'atu minni, wa hiya nuru aini, wa hiya thamaratu fawadi, wa hiya ruh allati bayna jumbi." Fatima is the Sayyida. She is the mistress of all the women of the first and the last. She is the apple of my eye. She is the light of my eye, apple of my heart. She is the soul between my chest. Whoever angers her angers Allah. Whoever displeases her displeases Allah. Whoever makes her happy makes Allah happy. Whoever pleases her pleases Allah. With this narration, we understood that although Prophet left this world, but he left a piece of prophethood, a piece of himself behind, a remnant of Nabuwah, and that was Fatima Zahra Salamullahi alayha. She has the same respect that we give to the Prophet. For let me explain it to you this way. If I take a piece of my heart put it next to me, although medically I shouldn't be alive, using as an example. This piece of heart still belongs to me. And it came from my body, it came from my heart, it resembles and it shares all the qualities of my heart. It is my part. Wherever it goes or is taken, it's still going to be my part. That means, although it's not attached to me anymore, yet it is part of me. No matter where I keep it, no matter where it goes, it's still mine. Has all the attributes like mine. It has the DNA, at the cellular level, it still shares the same DNA that my body contains. Use this analogy to understand who Fatima al-Zahra is. Fatima bad'atu minni. Fatima is part of me. That means the way we look at Rasulullah, the way we respect Rasulullah, the way we listen to his command, the same way we have to respect Fatima al-Zahra and take her command. That's Fatima al-Zahra. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case after Rasulullah. Indeed, before Rasulullah passed away, Ibn Abbas says, Rasulullah cried. He cried so much that his beard was full of tears. I asked him, "O Ya Rasulullah, why are you crying?" He said, I am seeing the torture and the Messiah that will befell Fatima al-Zahra. I see it. Her respect, the house that was respected, the maqam she had, everything is gone. Disgrace are attacking her house. She is crying for help, but no one is answering her call. Now imagine Rasulullah, while he is leaving this world, is crying for Fatima al-Zahra. And after Rasulullah left this world, what day and night do you think Fatima al-Zahra spent that was not full of grief? The days were full of grief. The nights were full of pain. She cried for her father from the day he left this world. She cried for her father so much that one day the chiefs of Mecca came to Amir al-Mu'mineen and they said, Ya Ali, ask Fatima not to cry day and night. Ask her to appoint a time to cry, because when she cries at night, we cannot sleep, and during the day she cries, we cannot rest and work. Ask her to select the time to cry. Amir al-Mu'mineen goes to Fatima al-Zahra and he says, Ya binti Rasulillah, the chiefs of Mecca came to me and they're asking that you're crying day and night. They want you to pick a time to cry. She said, Ya Ali, how can I not cry for my father? And I will not stop crying for my father. So Amir al-Mu'mineen builds a house in Baqi, which is called Baytul Ahzan, the house of sorrows. She wakes up In the morning, she takes her children along with her to Baytul Ahzan, and she cries for her father throughout the day. And at night time, Amir al-Mu'mineen would go, pick them up and bring them back to the house. And this is how Fatima az-Zahra cried for her father. In fact, every single person from the Medina who should be crying with her, should be crying in her pain, because she is crying for Rasulullah. In fact, they did not understood what Rasulullah, who Rasulullah was, and that is why they were questioning now that why do you cry for your father? And we have seen this pattern in Ahl al-Bayt. When Ahl al-Bayt tries to cry for their loved ones who have left this world, people would stop them from crying. Know that the first person to be asked not to cry was Fatima az-Zahra, and she cried for her father. On the other hand, the nation of Islam selected their leadership, and they were forcing everyone to pay allegiance to the Hakim of their time, to the Caliph of their time, except Amir al-Mu'mineen. Yes, Amir al-Mu'mineen was the rightful Caliph. Amir al-Mu'mineen was the rightful Wasi of Rasulullah. He was a Khalifatullah on this earth. Now they started compelling, they started forcing Amir al-Mu'mineen to take the bay'ah of the Caliph of the time. Yes, how can Amir al-Mu'mineen take the bay'ah when he is the rightful heir of the Prophet? One after other, many people came to ask him to take him to the masjid. Eventually, they decided to use force to bring Amir al-Mu'mineen to the masjid. No, brothers and sisters, just imagine that Amir al-Mu'mineen in the house, he is busy working on the Quran that Rasulullah entrusted him, and Janab Sayyidah who's crying for her father. And here are those disgraced people who are forcing Amir al-Mu'mineen out of the house. When they wanted to use the force, they brought wood along with them. They wanted to set ablaze the house. They brought the wood, they put it on the door, and they said, Ya Ali, come out of the house or else we will burn it down. Janab Sayyidah was in the house, and she had a rumal tied around her head. She had the scarf around her head, which is a sign of pain. She was still crying for her father. And she said, what do you want from us? Leave us alone. The passing of the Prophet is enough for us, and we are already in grief and pain. Leave us alone. But the voice said, no, we cannot leave you alone. We want Ali ibn Abi Talib, send him out. She said, I will not let Ali ibn Abi Talib. They put the firewood on the door, and they set the wood on fire. As soon as the wood caught fire, one of the persons from the outside started pushing the door, and she was standing right behind the door. She was blocking the way so that they do not enter the house. The man took a whip and he hit her with the whip, and he pushed the door with such force that Fatima az-Zahra came between the door and the wall, and at that point she fell on the ground. I cannot describe what the book says, and there's this words that comes out. She said, oh Fizzah, I lost my Mohsin. Amir al-Mu'mineen comes out. He catch hold of the jaw of that person, and he chucks him on the ground. And Amir al-Mu'mineen says, if it wasn't for the promise that Rasulullah made with me, I would have shown you that you cannot enter into the house. This is the instance where they put a rope around the neck of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Janab Sayyidah is on the floor. They wanted to take Amir al-Mu'mineen out of the house. She gathered her strength. She stood before them. She said, as long as I'm alive, I am not going to leave Abul Hassan. You cannot take him away from me. And there was another whip that pushed her out from the middle, took Amir al-Mu'mineen out. She fell unconscious. When Janab Fizza wanted to carry her, even before she could take her in, Mohsin passed away. Janab Sayyida fell unconscious. Now imagine what calamity befell on Ahlul Bayt. Amir al-Mu'mineen wants to help his wife, but he cannot help his wife. The children are crying. Amir al-Mu'mineen was pushed out of the house. And when Janab Sayyida regained her consciousness, she asked Officer, where is Abul Hassan? She cried and said they took him to the masjid. Oh, Janab Sayyida, she gathered her strength. She gathered her courage. She forgot the agony she was in. She took her children, Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein. She went to the masjid and she asked, what do you intend to do? Do you intend to veto me? Leave Abul Hassan. They said, we won't leave him until he pays allegiance. She said, if you do not leave Abul Hassan, I will uncover my hair at the grave of the Prophet. I will put his shirt on my head and I will curse against you. Amir al-Mu'mineen sent Salman. He said, go Salman, stop the daughter of Rasulullah. Salman said, the moment she said that, the walls of the masjid rose so extent that people could easily went from underneath the walls. I went up to her and I said, oh daughter of the Prophet, Allah made your father the mercy of the universe, and your husband has sent me to you. He is asking you to go back. She said, oh Salman, since my husband has asked, I do not have patience. They want to kill Abul Hassan. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. وَسَيَعْلَمُ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا أَيَّ مُنْقَلِبٍ يَنْقَلِبُونَ سُبْحَانَ رَبِّكَ رَبِّ الْعِزَّةِ عَمَّا يَصِفُونَ وَسَلَامٌ عَلَى الْمُرْسَلِينَ وَالْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ.
ज़हराते कलमगों ने दरवाज़ा इंज गिराया, ज़हराते कलमगों ने दरवाज़ा इंज गिराया, ज़हराते कलमगों ने दरवाज़ा इंज गिराया, ज़हराते कलमगों ने दरवाज़ा इंज गिराया। अज तक हसन दी मां ने पासे तो हथ ने चाया, ज़हराते कलमगों ने दरवाज़ा इंज गिराया, ज़हराते कलमगों ने दरवाज़ा इंज गिराया। बाबा मैं देंदी रहिया तेरे नाम दी दुहाई, फिल कुर्बा वाली आयत कई बार मैं सुनाई, फिल कुर्बा वाली आयत कई बार मैं सुनाई, फिर भी रवा के मैनू दरबार चू विलाया, ज़हराते कलमगों ने दरवाज़ा इंज गिराया, ज़हराते कलमगों ने दरवाज़ा इंज गिराया। मैं जान गईया बाबा किताबतुल वैने, उम्मत ने मार देने मेरे हसन हुसैन, उम्मत ने मार देने मेरे हसन हुसैन, दरबार जाके ऐ हो मैनू नजर है आया, ज़हरा ते कलमा गोने इंज गिराया, ज़हरा ते कलमा गोने दरवाज़ा इंज गिराया। हुण तेरा गम भी वावा ज़हरा मना नहीं सकदी, अपने ही घर च बह के अथरू बहा नहीं सकदी, अपने ही घर च बह के अथरू बहा नहीं सकदी। हैदर ने शहरो बाहर बैतुल हुज़न बनाया, ज़हरा ते कलमा गोने दरवाज़ा इंज गिराया, ज़हरा ते कलमा गोने दरवाज़ा इंज गिराया। या हुसैन 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 या हुसैन। दुख ये सैयदा ने अली को जो सुनाया होगा, दुख ये सैयदा ने अली को जो सुनाया होगा, दुख ये सैयदा ने अली को जो सुनाया होगा, दुख ये सैयदा ने अली को जो सुनाया होगा, दुख ये सैयदा ने अली को जो सुनाया होगा, दुख ये सैयदा ने अली को जो सुनाया होगा। आपके सब्र ने अल्लाह को, आपके सब्र ने अल्लाह को रुलाया होगा, दुख ये सैयदा ने अली को जो सुनाया होगा, दुख ये सैयदा ने अली को जो सुनाया होगा। आपके सब्र ने अल्लाह को, आपके सब्र ने अल्लाह को रुलाया होगा, दुख ये सैयदा ने अली को जो सुनाया होगा, दुख ये सैयदा ने अली को जो सुनाया होगा। बतूल दुनिया में अर्श पर जो कौसर है, नबी के साथ जहां में पूरा का मसदर है। हाथ उम्मत ने उस पे कैसे, हाथ उम्मत ने उस पे कैसे उठाया होगा, दुख ये सैयदा ने अली को जो सुनाया होगा, दुख ये सैयदा ने अली को जो सुनाया होगा, दुख ये सैयदा ने अली को जो सुनाया होगा। जख्म बहुत है मगर एक जख्म है गहरा, निशान है वो तमाचे का और मेरा चेहरा। कैसे बेटों से मैंने चेहरा, कैसे बेटों से मैंने चेहरा छुपाया होगा, दुख ये सैयदा ने अली को जो सुनाया होगा, दुख ये सैयदा ने अली को याद उसे रात को जगाती है, बगैर माँ के उसे नींद कहाँ आती है। कैसे शबीर को ज़ैनब ने, कैसे शबीर को ज़ैनब ने सुलाया होगा। दुखिए सैयदा ने अली को जो सुनाया होगा, दुखिए सैयदा ने अली को जो सुनाया होगा। अब्बा सलमदार, अब्बा सलमदार, अब्बा सलमदार, अब्बा सलमदार, ज़मानों पे अलमदार अलमदार, अब्बा सलमदार, अब्बा सलमदार। किस शान से बाबा का अलम तूने उठाया, अब्बा सलमदार, अब्बा सलमदार। हिम्मत ने तुझे जिंदा व जावेद बनाया, अब्बा सलमदार, अब्बा सलमदार। ऐ फौज हुसैनी के अलमदार अलमदार, अब्बा सलमदार, अब्बा सलमदार, अब्बा सलमदार, अब्बा सलमदार। मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम।
السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله، السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله، السلام عليك يا ثار الشهداء كربلاء، خصوصا سيدي ومولاي أبا الفضل العباس يا ابن أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليكم جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا غريب الغرباء، السلام عليك يا معين الضعفاء والفقراء، السلطان يا أبا الحسن يا علي بن موسى أيها الرضايا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا صاحب العصر والزمان، السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن، السلام عليك يا إمام الإنس والجان. الأمان 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 من فتنة الزمان، عجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله تعالى مخرجك وظهورك وجعل من أعوانك وأنصارك ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة، وليا وحافظا وقاعدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا، حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. الله
ये आप सही कर छोटे हैं ये भी आप सही नहीं आप छोटे हैसियत में भी छोटा भाई हैसियत तो आप